right, back
Remember, whenever you have to apply.
Crap.
And now Misha needs new rotor blades.
Oh, that's an easy fix. Oh, look at me, I'm spinning.
You still have a tail rotor.
You know what? I just realized something. When you're on a straight taxiway, you can lock the tail wheel.
You can.
That's why I'm going left and right, trying to stay in the center line. And I don't have my tail wheel locked. Okay, I'm at the taxiway Charlie now, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave it unlocked and turn on that taxiway and stand by.
Geez, I have to go through all of that, start up again.
Well, it goes fairly quickly when
it's easy.
You're not trying to.
Yep, I'm running through my startup now.
I was telling Frank, I have to go find my my checklist, which I'm sure I still have somewhere in a box, and I'll bring it out so we can call out all the things. Now, granted, it's for a earlier version of the Lima. We didn't have the neat GPS-based nav system installed or any of that, so I don't know. Pay attention. You really don't want to try and taxi this thing much more than 8-9 miles an hour, whatever that is, because it just gets squirrely.
Did you also advise that we turn on the boost button under the disaggregator control panel?
Yes.
Okay.
The only ones that you should not have illuminated on there are the failure, the two right hand.
Ooh. Right, the failure advisory.
Yeah. See? Once again, I looked down in the cockpit and ended up turning around and going the wrong direction.
All right, I'm going to crank one. All right, she's waking up.
So I would try to stay as low on the torque setting as you can. I'm moving okay at 19. I don't know if that's an anomaly or not, but
Good start on number 2. Oh, and I get T1 and T2 indicators in the HMD also.
Yep. So yeah, if you watch the Grim Reapers video, they have you can freeze it. It has all the indications of what all the different data means. So T1, T2, that's telling you your engines. TGT. I think that's TGT. It's got to be TGT. Everything else is in percentage. Yeah, it corresponds with TGT. I don't know what the other, and then ground speed. I think once you get in the air, you get an airspeed indication on there as well.
That's what I did wrong.
Very bottom left are your torque indications. You're always looking to make sure you don't have a torque split. That's bad. because there's an electronic unit on the engines that talk to each other to keep both engines operating at the same capability.
So I see what I did. I accidentally hit the PCLs in the wrong direction, and that screwed up the whole start sequence.
Ah.
Because I've got probably a weird keyboard bind. In fact, I think I had the axes for the PCLs bound, but I probably shouldn't unbind those because it's really, you just hit that little lock switch to move them, right?
Yep.
All right, restarting number 2.
Well, see, now this go round, I don't have the slave light either.
Yeah. I still
think
don't
I
have it.
missed something.
Well, it's like a lot of things. There's probably some policing up of coding that's still going on and some other things. So it may very well be maybe something to do with multiplayer for that matter.
Well, I think I am engine start complete, and I do not have some of the auxiliary stuff, lights and radios going.
You don't have to turn all the radios on before you start the.
Trying to learn it correctly, but
Yeah. I mean, usually you
it's
try
a
to get
little
all
complex.
Yep. It's. I mean, the logic is you got generator power with the APU. It's burning very little gas compared to the mains, to the big ass T701 engines. So you want to turn everything on and make sure it's going to work before you start trying to turn on the engines because they're expensive, and you don't want to put time on them if you don't have to.
All right, so with the park and brake on, you can tap your toe brake and it will release.
Yes.
Yep. Anybody see a windsock?
I do not, and I do not see one anywhere.
I have a blank chiclet board.
Look at you.
Well, don't turn on your taxi light, because then you'll have a chiclet.
Yeah.
Now look at me. I'm taxiing in a perfectly straight line.
It looks like I'm at 90. Let me see. I'm at 90% RPM. Oh yeah, it's still heating up. TGT's looks like stable at about 500 degrees. Should that be
Yeah.
right?
No, it's okay. It'll come back down. As long as it's not continuing to climb, you're stable.
Okay. Fuel, engine oil pressure, it's all green. Rotor speed is all green, but it's at 90 now. Maybe there's a
Make sure your power control levers are completely forward. It should scroll wheel until it can't anymore.
that did it. 100.
There you go.
All right. Make sure tail wheel is off. I'm gonna give her a little gas and see if she'll move.
Just very little. In other words, she'll taxi at 19. Again, Bob, you're using your cyclic forward and aft to control your speed pretty much once you get going. And your toe brakes, of course, work as well.
Is that why she's tipping over?
If you're putting in it, you got to be. Just forward and aft is all you really need to do for
Now, does it have left and right toe brakes, or just a brake controlled by the toe?
Just single one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So now the other thing you remember is you've got a thrust component on the tail. Not only is it overcoming torque, but it's also think of it as a main rotor system on the side of the aircraft. It's pretty big, so you're going to get a right heave on the aircraft from that as well. So.
Oh, I see what's going on. I have my toe brakes backwards.
All right, gents. I'll be back in a minute. I gotta go take care of the dog real quick. I'll be listening, but
We're taxiing, baby.
there you go. I'll be right there. I'll be back in a minute or two.
You get to that straightaway and lock your tail wheel. It's easy as pie.
I can't see my ground
Cake.
speed.
Piece of
Too bad I
cake.
can't stay in the lane.
Do we have a ground speed indicator? Oh, 30 knots. Okay, let's slow down.
Yeah, you'll get it on the HUD or HMD rather.
Yeah, on the left side.
I just had my toe brakes in the backwards. I need to invert them.
What about your collective? Do you need to invert that?
That's the first thing I did.
Yeah.
Man, she taxis easy.
Which is why I prefer using advanced flight model in ARMA as well.
Oop, easy. Okay, that's my fault. We'll do whatever I tell you.
Yep, definitely a little bit of a learning curve to that taxi routine.
Yeah, it's not necessarily an easy thing to just immediately pick up on. That's for sure.
My bad habit is to try to put side pressure on the cyclic. That's probably wrong.
Yes, that will cause you to tip.
That'll get me yelled at by the mechanic.
Well, the battalion commander and brigade commander if you break the aircraft, but that's a Class A mishap.
Probably sounds like a Class A career wreck.
Ending, yes. All right, Frank, we probably go ahead and move out towards the runway if you want. Recommend we do a little pattern work first, since we got two guys that have actually flown the beastie. Ah, see, I just tried to do it.
Yeah, there you go, Al. Tip it over.
So if the Doppler is telling us winds out at 105, that's east. So I'm going to make a right turn over here onto the runway.
Okay.
And you really can't do that with the tail wheel locked, so...
Yeah, you have to get on the runway and then...
That tail wheel's a little out of control.
Well, again, remember you're really controlling the the ground taxi speed of your helicopter with a cyclic. So once you get rolling, you really don't need. You can put it full down and you'll still roll.
Right, but I'm watching yours as you're taxiing in front of me, and even before your aircraft moves, that wheel is jittering all over the place.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to assume that part of that is because of nature of the
Early access.
That's something that eventually they can tweak. All right. So you want to get it straight?
Is that enough room?
Yeah, I'm coming forward. I am going to be on your left-hand side.
God, are we going to do this like we do in the hips?
No, I'm just moving up so that there's plenty of room for everybody to get onto the...
No, I just mean roll and take off. And
No.
Oh, you can, but you don't. You have to be very careful, obviously, with this aircraft because Early right now. Come on. All right. And my tail wheel is locked.
And following suit.
All right, coming out of the active.
Don't need to move up.
No, I'm taking the left side.
Okay. Nothing dramatic for our first.
Ground must got a little spin going.
All right, Frank. Let's just do the individual takeoffs for right now, and
Left traffic, 500 feet.
Yep. Coming up.
Three's up, but going slightly in the wrong direction.
Four's up. Whoa, gotta give her a lot of left pedal for some reason.
Turning left cross.
And I think 3 is fairly stable now.
We're saying.
Okay.
Trying to close up.
Just keep in mind if you over torque the aircraft, go over about 90%, you're going to get boxes around your torque gauge. All right, you can go over, but there's a 30-minute limit, and then there is a 30-second limit. And why is that? Because the torque will also tell you that if you're over torquing, you're potentially over temping, and over temping means the fire's too hot, and your helicopter might catch on fire. So.
Helicopter's on fire. All right. Okay. Wow. So torque it's not very stable for me, even though I'm not touching the controls. Or is that a factor of my angle in it?
I think so.
Yeah. So it's going up and down between 60 and mid 80s.
Me too.
Just while I'm trying to.
I'm not sure. That may be okay. In reality, that may be a issue from the early release. I mean, to be honest with you, why am I flying? What's your airspeed, Frank?
Airspeed is 126.
Okay, I don't know why I'm overtaking you.
I see.
I'm left downwind.
I see a two-ship I'm trying to form up with.
Yeah.
Good luck. I'm just trying to stay in the area. Yeah, so I'm number 4 now. I see Bob in front of me.
Sorry, Misha, I lost viz on you.
That's all right. I'm at your 500 yards probably.
Okay.
All right. Again, once you get happy with where your aircraft is, you can hit the trim release, and that will reset wherever you're at, and then you can use the China hat.
Lead speed
Now.
check.
1, 2, 3.
Is that ground speed or airspeed?
That's airspeed.
All right.
I'm reducing. I'm at 140.
So, chalk lead, chalk 1 can set everything up and just fly nice and straight, and everybody else just tries to stay in position like I'm not doing right now. So I'm not flying the China cap right now. I am really trying to not crash into Frank, because my indication says I'm at 119, but yet I'm passing him.
Yeah, I think the airspeed gauge is probably taking. Is it taking wind into account? Maybe. Is this?
I don't know.
Or indicated?
It should be indicated. You got a ground speed as well, which should be telling you what your wind differential is.
Well,
so
the HUD is matching the airspeed indicator for me.
All right, let's Okay, you gonna turn? Are we still downwind?
We're still downwind. Do you want to stay in the pattern? I'll turn left.
Yeah, let's stay in the pattern.
All right, turning left.
So we let guys try and do a landing on the runway, vice in the field for the first time. And I am all over the place this morning.
Yeah, I can tell which one you are, Al.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm semi-saddled, Al. I might be heading over top of you because you're descending.
You're probably, because I am descending. Because I lost visual with Frank, and because again, instead of going stagger left, I went stagger right and lost him in the overhead panel.
Yep.
So I'm
same
extending
here.
out and turning around.
I'm at 118, and I'm still looking for Frank's ship.
Speed now 108.
Frank, say heading.
I'm
He's at
turning
your
left
9.
base.
I don't know the compass heading though. What's your compass heading?
I'm going through 120.
Oh, okay, so I'm still south. I'm gonna turn in some more.
All right, Bob, I'm at your 8.
Okay, God help you.
Continuing to turn. Left turn, and I am seeing the runway at my 11 o'clock. I will parallel the runway south side.
I don't know where the field. Oh, I got Frank's ship.
All right. If you turn to your course knob to the landing direction, or then you should be okay. In other words, I see somebody blinking out there, and I'm coming back on course line.
Al, I see you. I'm under you to your kind of 6, 7.
Pally. Oh, you're behind me?
I'm behind you.
Speed
All right,
113.
I'm going to slide out to the right here. You go ahead and stay in the formation.
I'm well behind Frank. I'm trying to keep from PIOing myself into the ground.
Okay, we got high tension wires too, just southwest of the field.
Just past him.
Speed 112.
Now, another thing I'll say about this aircraft is that they haven't fixed yet is this aircraft does not fly well at 150 knots. You can get there very quickly in the aircraft right now. In reality, if you were flying along at 150 knots, you would not be flying around at 66% torque. You'd probably be at 90% torque due to the drag factor, and your aircraft would be rattling itself to death. It does not fly well at above 100. Allegedly it can, but unless you've got guys who perfectly trim the rotor system, it will start beating you to death. So you usually cruise in this aircraft between 120 and 130. It's not for right now, it's not a big deal.
Al, say speed.
My speed is 137 and decreasing.
Copy. I'm 133 this time.
All right, I got somebody in front of me. I don't know if that's Misha.
Frank.
Where are you at?
I am 5 o'clock to Frank.
5 o'clock.
And I
to
don't
Frank.
see anybody else in front of me except Frank.
Oh,
so
I
you're
got
following me.
Yeah, you just flew. You just flew in front of me.
Okay, yeah, I've got Misha low, Al high. I must be number
Yeah.
4 then.
I'm just trying to follow Frank.
That's fine.
I'm
Okay, Frank. Whenever you want to turn base, I'm trying to form on Misha here.
Why would you want to do that?
Because it beats crashing into you.
Oh, okay.
You say that like
Crap,
it's a
I'm
bad
passing him. I'm passing Frank now.
All right, I've passed to the right of the formation.
So are you turning now, Frank? All right, I'm going to assume he's turning.
He's got all his lights on,
Yep.
so
Yep. I'm sorry, I had my mic up.
God, I do not like the trimmer in this thing. I cannot control this aircraft.
I am way up high now.
yeah. Again, it doesn't take a lot of movement. It really doesn't.
Okay, there's base. Continuing the left turn to left downwind. Speed 120. Barrow is saying 900 feet.
I'm at 140 right now. I'm trying to slow down so I don't hit Al. Al, I'm saddled. You're 8.
Okay, I'll continue a very slow turn then.
I'm low.
All right, Misha is at. I'm at Misha's 5 o'clock now. So you're probably close. Got to keep an eye out for Misha in front of you.
Yeah, I see him.
Okay. And I'm through about 290 now.
Same.
Continuing my turn.
Speed check.
I don't.
110.
I'm at
Left
143 again.
downwind.
Sorry.
That's
Slowing. Where's the freaking runway? Oh, it's way over there. Okay. Misha, you got. I'm not sure where you are. I think I'm seeing Frank now.
Okay. Well, I hear somebody, so you must be close. I've lost altitude. I'm at 330.
All right, I'm at 700.
Well, that's probably safe.
Think I've got Frank to my front. I'm slowing back.
God.
Bob, I've leveled out and I'm decelling now so I don't overrun Frank.
Yep,
Where
I'm
the
on
hell?
your hard 8.
Where the hell's the airfield?
It's to our left vaguely.
Yeah, I'm left downwind.
Oh, left downwind. All right. Oh, there it is. Tally. Okay.
Yep.
125 now, Bob.
Oh, look, I see everybody passing in front of me. Good, I'm number 4 now. It's probably safer.
Yeah, again, this thing will accelerate right now a little bit more aggressively than I recall the aircraft actually doing. All right, Frank's descending. I'm out of 745. Trying to maintain position with Frank.
I feel like I'm drifting left somehow.
You should have a left skid. That's because of the wind. Slight left.
Okay. So I'm trying to stay with Al, but
Yeah, again, this thing is. So I'm trimming those up a little bit, so I have to. Push forward to maintain airspeed and altitude. So, all right, Frank, I'm closed on you. If you want to go ahead and start your turn.
Okay, I see the end of the runway at my 4, so I'm starting a left base now.
Okay, Bob, I'm at 125, and I'm starting my slow turn in. So you're probably going to have to either slide outside or decel.
yeah, I'm inside you, so I'm just going to decel and let you move in front of me.
Okay. I'm going to have to put some Velcro or something on the bottom. I'm accelerating. Stop that.
All right, now I pass behind you. I'm on your 5-ish.
Okay.
So at left base, we've got a hefty tailwind. Looks like almost. What's 129 minus 112? About 17
I would say,
17 knots.
yeah, it's pretty
About
good
20
wind.
knots.
All right, I've moved into trail on Frank.
Okay, I'm continuing left turn onto essentially upwind.
Trail on Al. Just oscillating over here.
Oh, we went all the way around the airfield? Ooh, what was that, Frank?
I guess it was the wind for me. I'm being pushed to the right now because the wind's coming out of our port quarter.
I felt that.
Yeah, that might be. All right. What's your airspeed, Frank?
I let it go. It's 136 now, so I'm going to go ahead and slow back down. Still got a tailwind, about 10 knots. So we landed, or we took off downwind, looks like.
Okay. Well, good news is we didn't have a heavy aircraft.
Okay, back to 110 on the airspeed. Still have a tailwind. Yep. Basically, the wind's coming out of northwest.
Yeah, I'm showing 131 for ground speed.
You guys are looking good together.
Yeah. Yeah, but I said I was supposed to be in trail, not freaking saddle left.
Okay, down to 100 knots airspeed. We'll bump it back up to 110.
Okay. Whenever you're ready, Frank.
All right. Starting my left turn.
All right, fellas, I'm going to break formation and go land. I got to go take care of my dog. He's going to beat up the door. I'm turning inside you right now, Frank. I'm going
Yep.
via direct for the airfield.
No joy, but go ahead.
All right, I'm saddle Frank on your trail.
Okay. $123 knots. We're in a headwind situation now. Continuing to turn.
Al, does the tail aerodynamically straighten itself out if you don't have it locked when you take off?
It should, yes. All right, I am crossing the center line now.
Yep, it's probably best to land to the west-southwest because of the wind. You will have some right crosswind if you do that.
And another thing is, it does not slow down as fast as it accelerates. So you have to keep in mind you're going to have to slowly and progressively decelerate, because if you try and get too close and then decelerate, you're going to find yourself
Flippity
sliding
flap, shim sham.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't want that.
Okay. Just be very careful. Don't have any yaw or heave when you land, because your aircraft will want to tilt over, because it's not got a the stance is not as wide as you think it is. So you get, if you put the tail wheel down and
It's
one
like a
gear down,
Spitfire,
you're
narrow,
gonna get a you're
narrow
gonna get a pivot.
undercarriage.
So she's top heavy like a motorhome.
Mm-hmm. So it's usually good to try and put her on the ground with a couple knots of forward airspeed if you're not playing ARMA with our group, where they insist you have 0 airspeed. But then you don't have to worry about it in ARMA either. So
Frank, speed check.
119.
Got about 6 knots closure on you. I'm on your deep 7.
Okay. Misha, you trailing Bob?
Oh, I am just trying to fly this thing.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm in a, well, I guess it's the headwind, tailwind problem. Every time I come around, I feel like I'm in control. Then when I come back the other way, I cannot turn to the right now. I am trying gently to bring it back to the right, and it just refuses to move. So you said we took off with a tailwind?
We did. So the wind's coming out of, looks like west-northwest.
Well, I mean, you would think that if I was going 120 knots, a tailwind wouldn't really have any effect on me.
Well, that sucks.
You can't leave us, can you?
No, I just lost connection.
I'm gonna go ahead and turn left base, Bob.
Okay.
Actually, let's stop calling it that because we'll probably land in the other direction. So this will be a left crosswind.
Okay.
But I got to break for a second. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get some more coffee and do a bio break since I gotta completely restart. So back in a few.
Okay, and I'm picking up the tailwind.
Try not to over oscillate.
And I just completed the 90-degree mark, so I'm continuing to turn
Speed.
on the south side of the runway.
Speed check.
104. Yep, there's that wind again. I think that's an anomaly.
I saw your ship just like flip to the left there.
Yeah. So now I'm side slipping to the right because of the wind. Ground speed's 130, airspeed's 112.
Oh, look at that. I'm still flying.
Hey, how about that?
I've come to another airfield.
I think there's another airfield around here somewhere. Oh yeah, you're at
Yeah, I'm at the other
Adana.
one.
Wait, did we start at Incirlik or Adana? No, we started at Incirlik. You probably ended up at Adana. That's Adana in front of you.
Frankie descending.
Yeah, it's hard to. Yeah, but this is well, that's fairly realistic. If you've got something, you're going to be going sideways in the air.
Whoa, I just got flipped by the wind. It's weird that it wasn't the same speed you were.
We'll head over to the other airfield and practice landing. I'm going to start a left turn here. Yeah, we should figure out how to tune in the TACAN so we can home in on it. Okay, now I'm in a headwind situation. What do we think about 280, 290 on the heading?
Okay. I think I'll follow you.
Get to Adana.
Having never been to Turkey.
So speed's about 118 now.
Oh, look at that. I'm actually lined up on the runway. I'm going to try landing this thing.
I'm gonna, yeah, we're gonna head over there, Misha. We're gonna.
Oh, no, I'm coming back to our original airfield. I see you guys are reciprocal. I'm at your 11.
Well, if nothing else, we'll take a tour of Adana here.
Frank will show us all the best restaurants.
Al should be able to. This is, remember when we did the, what was that? Beirut tour with the Heinz?
Oh man,
All right.
I saw it. I wasn't on that one.
I mean, the frames were pretty good considering it was a very densely packed terrain. Okay, I'm just holding 118 knots here,
Oh,
and we're still in a headwind situation because we're going to the northwest-ish.
I'm showing 270.
Okay, I slowed back down to 112. Got the lake on my 2 o'clock. Looks like there's a river in front of us.
Well, I didn't break it, but I didn't really land it properly.
Okay, out in the distance, there's a lot of cranes and towers.
Seen.
We just need to look and make sure we clear those. That looks like a train yard there. Okay. 105 on airspeed. I'll bump it back up to 110. Okay. Airfield is at our 11, so I'm going to turn left slightly. Turning in 3 seconds. Turning now. Oh, and there it is.
Did you lose? Oh, you dropped altitude.
Yeah. Let's practice the approach to the runway, and then we'll try to land at the far end, and then we'll pit back off and head back to our home airfield.
Okay.
And yes, we have a right crosswind.
Oh man, you're not kidding. I got blown way over this way.
Yeah.
So I'm to your parallel left now.
Okay. I think I'll just go ahead and land on the grass just to the right of the runway.
Yeah, it looks like I'm doing the same thing on the other side. What's the good landing speed? Probably 60. On deck, let me see if I sell rotor blades. I know. Just a little tilt to one side and I lost my rotor disc. I should fly more like
Well,
you.
I'm doing better than you because I still have 2 of my rotors.
Well, see, that's almost
How can
passing where I
you?
teach.
How can you have 2 rotors?
if you're a Huey.
I mean, okay, good point.
What'd you do, Misha?
What a beautiful hover, Frank.
I took off incorrectly, and it tipped sideways and broke 2 of the blades.
Well,
But only 2.
don't do that, Misha. It's not good for the
See-
aircraft.
I am unable to fly in this condition.
Is this level ground? I can't tell.
You're on it, so yes.
No, I experienced the same thing with you. Seems like one main touched before the other.
You got it. So sequence-wise, the tail wheel is almost always going to be on the ground first. So you've already got a pivot point. All right. You want to try and minimize the amount of any drift you have, because again, once you get 2, you've exacerbated the pivot point in a direction. So, and if you got a crosswind, but in honesty, that's why most people don't do a 0 airspeed landing. You try and put it down with a little bit of forward airspeed, just so your momentum's carrying you forward instead of potentially dipping left or right.
The exact same color as the rocks here.
Well, that rotor hub is still spinning like a whirling dervish.
It will too. Well, let's see, what else can we do here? None of that works. Everything's set up there. Got.
Well, you know what we should have tried? Are you still in the helicopter, Bob?
Yeah, but I don't have any rotors.
Well, I was going to land next to you, and you can hop in as my co-pilot.
Oh. We'll come
Go
over
back to
across
s-
the runway.
Go back to spectate, and then pick. I don't know. Pick the co-pilot or the crew chief position. I wonder if you'll get that pop-up that says accept or reject, like we did in the Moss.
You will. You will. You have to accept. It should ask you. Okay, blades are turning. EGT's coming up. RPM's coming up.
Okay.
Engine oil pressure's coming up.
Co-pilot Frank.
Like a good start.
Heading.
Yep, I see it.
Okay. Good
I've
start on
joined the
number
cruise
1.
Co-pilot, but I'm sitting in the right seat.
Fuel selector set.
Oh, are you?
And
Should I hit the number to sit in the left seat?
Yeah, number 2.
There we go. I'm in the left seat.
all right, NG's coming up.
Your radar is working. My radar didn't work.
Well, I think we forgot to turn it on for you.
Oh, okay. Let me check
The-
your controls, make sure you're good. I'll turn on your
Coming up.
countermeasures. There you go.
There's engine oil pressure. ETs. Stabilizing.
Turn on your lights.
That seems to be coming up okay.
You got a HUD? Yeah, you also have a HUD control panel on your side.
I haven't turned it on yet. I'm just looking at just configuring your lights.
Yep, there's that tailwind.
Now, I still have in-out flags on my AI, on my attitude indicator.
Yeah,
Al,
I
that-
do too.
That's just
Because
the
we don't
mod.
we don't have anything
You haven't
chosen on
selected.
the
Yeah, you haven't
CISP.
selected any of the. Yep. Haven't checked
Gotcha.
this book.
Let me check my altimeter, make sure it's correct. Still 3021.
Yes.
I'm showing us just a shade under 500 feet. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. Put heading bug to 270. Course to what, 240? Or no, it was something else. 3 something. I don't know.
Oh, we're back to the airfield. Is more like 120-ish, maybe 100. I think I see it in the distance.
You said
I do, I see the
3021 is
airfield.
the barometric, correct?
Yeah.
3021. All right.
You'll also find that in the briefing at Alt Bravo.
seeing about 74 knots. Is that right?
I'm doing 66 on my
66.
Heading.
Okay.
or on my HUD.
Turn on my HMD. I have the same panel on my side.
Yes.
HMD control panel. I
Should
don't
be on your right hip. And it should be the bottom left corner
Well,
because you're on the co-pilot side.
Right. I've got circuit breakers down there.
Oh.
Maybe the left seater doesn't get one.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's the same panel, but it's the left portion of that panel on my side. It's the co-pilot side. So just reach over and flick the left corner toggle. That should put on your HUD.
Mm-mm.
You want me to? Okay, yeah, looks like you got it up.
I don't see it.
Oh, let me, hang on, stand by.
I don't need it. I mean, you just go ahead and fly.
That's weird. I would think you have it, or you should have it. Co-pilot should have it.
Well, co-pilot.
Okay,
The hell, there's anti-aircraft guns out there.
there are. I wanted to have the APR-39 reflect that and see what it looks like, and also hear what it sounds like.
Oh, I had to hit the same switch as you do, and it works for me.
Oh, really? Okay.
So I'm showing 66, 67 air.
Yeah.
About 412 radar.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and turn. This is basically a downwind.
I don't see anything on the RWR.
Yep, I don't either.
Those aren't anti-aircraft or radar-guided guns. They're just...
Okay, just guns.
Oh, crap. Shows me in the pilot seat. What the hell?
Pick 3 or 4.
Oh, thank God I'm in the back now.
Well, fellas,
Or if you
I'm
can
not-
pick 2, and you can be in the co-pilot seat with Bob.
No, that's great.
Yeah, sit on his lap.
Well, gents, the good Lord does not want me to fly this morning because I literally had just gotten everything set and was getting ready to take off, and I lost connection again. So
Yeah.
I'm intermittent right now on connection. So I'm going to call it a morning here and get on with the day.
All right.
So if anybody decides to get on Arma later to do some of the thing, let me know. I'll try and catch up with you.
Yeah, well, the server's still up, so I'll just keep it up, and
Cool.
we'll see what's going on.
It's a bumpy ride back here.
Yes, it is, especially in the very back seats. It's so you're at the farthest point from the pendulum point.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, nobody wants to sit in the very back row. So, all right, gents, you have a good day, and we'll
All right.
catch up with you later today.
Take care.
Alrighty.
So, yep, out.
That's probably where they put the privates, the new privates. Sit him in the back row and get him to puke.
But who wants to smell that?
You're right. All right, I'm seeing us almost lined up. I'm showing 300 on the altimeter.
Yep.
88 air.
We've got a.
Got a component on you.
You got the right crosswind still crabbing me to the right, but I'm gonna go ahead and we'll
Nice
do what we're trying to do before, I suppose, and try to line up and then come to a hover and then just hover taxi back.
100 feet.
We're not slowing too quickly.
50.
or as quickly as I want. There's a change in the wind there.
30.
You're 45 knots still.
Yeah.
15. Beautiful.
Okay, there we go. So now I should just be able to hover taxi.
Now, is this simulating ground effect?
You know, I'm not sure. I would think that at some point they would. Okay, I'm commanding left pedal, but I'm not moving.
You're drifting backward a little bit, probably the wind.
Yep. Okay, there's the tower. I'm going to shoot for the tower. Hope I don't lose pedal authority here. Yeah, I think I'll turn off the wind, or at
SC's
least
hard
turn
enough
it
to
down a
fly.
little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, that wind's still pushing you.
Yeah. All right. That was left pedal there as I was coming down, so it was still affecting you. Let's see if my I bound the power control levers to my slider on the throttle quadrant, and it seems to work. There's an option to put them as if they were one throttle, so the one slider can control both of them at the same time. That seems to. Can you pull back on the fuel selector on your side
I certainly
to
can.
off?
Whoops. Wrong way. There we go.
So they need to work on multiplayer synchronization of visuals still.
I'm showing number 1 engine temp dropping. And speed dropping.
Yep.
Engine oil pressure on number 1 down.
And the low RPM caution lights flashing, so that's as expected.
Yeah, that's interesting. So from the back seat, none of the chiclets are moving.
Yeah. So there's again multiplayer synchronization. I think is still needs some work.
I think the fact that it works at all is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No.
Do you want me to bring the PCL all the way forward?
You can turn it back to off, which is the detent, the nubs just below at the top of the stalk.
Well, that's interesting. From the back seat, I hover over the engine controls and I can drag, or I'm getting the option to click or drag certain things.
So they're still in the idle position for me. Did you guys move it back to off?
I clicked down the release and it won't go all the way to off yet. How do I do it again?
Let me try it.
Whoop.
So left click, left single click brings it to off.
Yeah, I can't.
So I just hovered over the little nub and left click, and it pushed it up into the off position.
Yep. Okay. And I'm seeing
Yep,
all the
and there's
number 1 gauges down.
again the synchronization is not fully implemented, but it's good enough. Okay, and the HUD's off. Guess we'll go through some sort of checklist sequence to make sure everything is turned off the way it is. It's not as quick and easy as it is in Arma, but that's cool.
When we turn on the APU or leave it?
We'll just turn it off. Just leave it off.
Okay.
And oh, okay, yeah. All we need to do is flick the batteries off, and it should be done.